Welcome back to the Searley Talks Warriors podcast, brought to you by our sponsors, Ortex. On today's show, we're joined by Warriors forward and Tongan international, Ben Murdoch-Masila. Ben, thanks for jumping on, bro.
All good, brother. All good to be here.
The man. And before we get into your journey so far, let's touch on the last few weeks because it's been a big one for the club. Obviously, the bye last weekend, but then the week before that, back to New Zealand for the homecoming game. So how was it to be back at Mount Smart and get your first taste of the facilities there? Because I can imagine it's pretty different to what you've been used to back at Redcliffe.
Oh, yeah. As soon as we got there, we got in for training, walked into the gym and I was like, wow. Yeah, Redcliffe, it was just like a two-bedder house. It was real small, and as soon as I walked in, I was like, "Holy crap, this is massive!" But yeah, it was good to be back. For once, I got to be a supporter, so just sat back and watched the boys and just soaked in all the atmosphere and that. And the week before, I was at the ground for the Tongan and New Zealand game, and that crowd was pretty cool. But man, just seeing all Warriors supporters the next week, I think they were louder than the Tongan supporters, so that was pretty cool, bro.
That's the ultimate compliment to Warriors fans because those Tonga fans are pretty loud, that's for sure.
I was just going to say they didn't really get to celebrate much getting beat from the Kiwis, so it was nice to be on the winning end with the Warriors.
And you mentioned the win there, 22-2. Do you think the boys kind of rise to the occasion and stood up for that performance? And how good did it feel to get the win in front of the Warriors fans? It's been so long since you played in front of them.
100%. Just the week and the build up to the game. At trainings, everyone had smiles on their face, and I said it before to someone else. Even Sean Johnson had a smile on his face, so it was good to see that. And yeah, we all spoke about it during the week. We couldn't let not just the club but the country down. So it was good to get back, and all the boys got up for it. And like I said, it was the vibe in the camp, and everyone smiling. We just won as soon as we got home, so it was good.
And was there almost a bit of relief, bro? Because I can imagine there was almost a bit of a feeling of pressure for the boys to deliver for that one.
I'm not sure about the boys, but yeah, like as a spectator, there is pressure because of like the last few weeks that we've been going. But I think the first 5 minutes you could just tell the boys were on. They couldn't do no wrong, and even though there was a bit penalties here and there, but man, it just looked like they couldn't do anything wrong, so it was good.
The boys were on for sure. It was unreal. Let's go back to how things started for you, bro. Born and raised in New Zealand. How did you first get introduced to league, and who was your junior club?
My little brother started rugby league first, and I wasn't really into it. This was probably when we were like 7 years old, and my dad ended up being a coach, so I was going to say he told me to come along, but he forced me actually to start out. And actually my first game, this was the Ellerslie Eagles.
Yeah.
So my first game, I got the ball and ran the wrong way and scored at the other end. But yeah, but I've come a long way since then. And junior club Ellerslie Eagles, and then went over to Otahu when I was about 10 or 11, and stayed there until I was about 15, 16, got into a bit of trouble and gangs and that, and as you do as you're a teenager in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one day someone from Cuba Park come over or something, or West Tigers, because Cuba Park was affiliated with the West Tigers, and kind of liked what they saw and offered me to go to school over in Cuba Park. And man, that was probably the best decision of my life, going to that school. They kind of turned me around, and I actually went over. I was 152 kilos, and I think the first 6 months I lost about 35 or 40 kilos, and just kicked on from there. Went over to West Tigers on the 20s, kicked on, and kind of found my groove and made my first grade debut that first year, 2010, I think it was. Yeah. And yeah, that was pretty scary.
You mentioned the debut there. You had a real quick rise to the NRL as well. You weren't there long,
Yeah.
and only 19 years old when you made your debut in a semi against the
Oh,
Roosters. So how did you find out you're going to make your debut, bro? And how nervous were you for such a big game?
yeah. Well, I was actually getting ready for shoulder reconstruction. I was going to have surgery that week, and I think Todd Payton, or I think it was he got injured, and during training, and they told me, oh, you can't really do any more damage to your shoulder, so we'll chuck you in. I was like, oh yeah, sweet.
All right.
But yeah, that was scary. I think it was like maybe 60,000 people at that game, and I think I was the first interchange off the bench into the game, and I can just remember the crowd. And I think my first tackle was on Anthony Minicella. He made a break, and I kind of closed the gap,
Yeah,
and yeah,
that's
that was pretty
unreal.
cool, bro. Yeah.
Did you have like a welcome to the NRL moment in that game? Like, was there someone you ran the ball at where you just thought, shit, I'm in the top grade now?
I think, yeah, all I remember is I think it was Jason Miles. I'm not too sure, or Nate Miles. I think I ran, and he got me pretty good, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And as a young lad, bro, only 19, how was it playing alongside some legends like Benji Marshall, Robbie Farah, Lottie Takiri in your first year in the NRL?
That was cool, man. Like even just getting to train with them. Yeah, like you said, all those names. Bo Ryan,
Yeah.
he was a character within the team, and but Big Keith Galloway, he was cool to us young boys. So yeah, it was some good memories there.
For sure. And you mentioned memories. You played 52 games for the Tigers. Do you have like a highlight memory or a game for you that stands out for your time there?
Yeah, obviously the debut, but yeah, playing and scoring at the SCG, that was pretty cool. There was a lot of fans there, and I think we played the Dragons and we won that game, and you know, just scoring on that ground was pretty cool. Mm.
That's unreal. And you had a 2-year stint at Penrith before making the move over to the Super League. So what was behind that decision to move over, bro? Because it's not something you see NRL players do so young these days.
Yeah, I was going through a rough patch then. One of my best mates committed suicide, um, Moses, and yeah, I was just on downward spiral, you know, drinking, doing stupid stuff, and West Tigers, yeah, kind of let me go and went over to Penrith. Yeah, I was just really just going through the motions, and Gus Gould was there, and he kind of told me, look, just go away for a couple of years and come back refreshed, and I just kind of took it on board. Kind of, my wife was with me, and we had just had our firstborn daughter. Kind of went over and really try to. I went over with a good mindset to really refreshen myself and get back to playing some good footy, and I did that. I think played some of my best football over in England with Salford and Warrington, and played a good year 2019 with Tonga, and I was set to resign with the club Warrington. I was enjoying my footy over there, and Warriors kind of come in, and I still set myself staying in England, but the wife kind of said, "Oh, look, babe, this is our hometown. Let's go home." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, right." Then I think it's about time, and now we're here. Mm.
Yeah, nice. You mentioned it, March 2020, announced you're signing with the Warriors on a 3-year deal. So also coming back home to New Zealand. Was that the main draw card, bro? Just bringing the family back? And obviously you mentioned the wife as well. Or did you kind of want to come back and have another crack at the NRL as well?
Yeah, the NRL. I never closed the door on playing again in the NRL, trying to see if I still got it. But yeah, the main reason was family as well. Like I said, I've been gone. I went for 6 years, and my daughter had a Pommy accent, and she never really she never really got to meet all the family. So I thought, me and my wife thought it was time to bring her home and connect with her culture and my family and the wife's family. So that was the main reason coming back.
And since 2021, you've played 25 games for the club, scoring 6 tries. How have you found your time at the Warriors so far? And what do you think the main differences have been between the Warriors and maybe some of those Super League clubs in terms of your setup?
Yeah, in terms of setup, I was at quite a big club, Warrington Wolves. Similar setup, a lot family orientated and real professional. So that was not too much of a change. But in saying that, the game of it, the speed and the physicality and just the boys that play in NRL are a lot more freakish and strong, fit over here than in England. But the speed of it all, it's kind of similar. England play a bit more footy and expansive style footy, so it's quite fast over there. But yeah, no, it's been good so far. And in saying that, it has been frustrating with a lot of injuries that I've been picking up, and they're not niggly injuries. They've been some pretty major ones in my Liz Frank foot, and then my now dislocating my elbow and rupturing a few ligaments in there. So I'm on the mend now and keen to get back.
You touched on the elbow there. You've had a real bad run, bro, and it's been unfortunate because us fans love seeing you play. So how is the elbow, and how hard is it to just stay focused on the job, constantly trying to rehab? Is it a bit frustrating?
I'm one of the older boys in the team, so I've had a fair few injuries, so I know how to get through things and manage my way through it. Like if I was young, I would probably find it hard. But like I said, I'm had a few years with injury, so I know how to get through things and just be positive, especially around the group. But I want to be a damper on the boys. So yeah, I take role in that. But elbow's coming along good. Coming up to my 5th week now. I just started running, so that's good. And it's always good to start running because then you get to run with the boys, so that's pretty cool.
Sure, and it's been a pretty big few weeks for the club off the field over the last couple, with Reece announcing he's signing with the Broncos and then a new coach next year in Andrew Webster. So how much does that kind of affect the boys, or is it more just focus on para and that kind of stuff sorts itself out?
You look around the club and you think everyone says nothing's affecting them, but there is deep down at the back of their head they do think about it. But yeah, Reece announcing that, I gave him a clip around the ears for for leaving. But it's he's got a bright future in front of him. But in saying that, we do get Nickel. What's his name again? The fullback coming from Raiders. Chance,
yeah.
I was tongue twister his last name, but
yeah,
we get him. So we need that effort that he brings at the back. So that's pretty cool. And I've had a bit to do with Webby. He took us a couple of years with Tonga, so it's good to have him.
Yeah, nice. And as you've had him as your coach before, are you excited to link back up with him again? Do you reckon he'll be good for the boys next year?
I reckon it'll be awesome. He'll be coming from a good system at Penrith Panthers, so whatever he can bring from there will be good. And the boys, some of the young, old boys like Jazzy and Bunty, when Webby was at the Warriors, they got a good connection there, so it'll be good.
Nice. And a bit of international footy talk now, because obviously you've been a part of an extremely successful Tongan side over the last few years. You mentioned unable to play against the Kiwis, but you did play in that big win against Aussie a couple of years back. So how important has it been for you to kind of put Tonga back on the map, and how cool has it been to be a part of this team?
It's been awesome. We've come a long way since Wolfie took over, and I was there in 2013. Yeah, I remember when we used to come around in old hotels, and now we've come into 5-star hotels, so that's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the rise of Tonga has been awesome, bro. Like when I was in camp with the boys when they lost against the Kiwis, just seeing all the fresh faces coming in now, and everyone's kicking Tonga. They want to play for Tonga. So seeing all those young boys that are carving up in the NRL, wanting to play for Tonga, it's awesome to see. You know, coming from my old boy, I think I'm one of the most kept Tongan players at the moment, and I know that I've done my job for Tonga. So seeing them put their hands up and wanting to pull on the Tongan jerseys, it's a proud moment knowing where we've come from. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And you mentioned one of the older boys. Is like a leadership role something you enjoy having at both the Tongan team and the Warriors? Because quite a few of the lads have said you're a good leader around the club.
Yeah, when I was coming through, I wouldn't think that I'll be that kind of person, but yeah, I've come into the role with the Warriors too. I don't like seeing our Poly and Pacific boys how would you say it, like just not opening up, because that's what I've been through, and yeah, Poly boys especially, they tend to keep to themselves, their emotions and that. So as I was coming up as a youngster, I never really had that person that was there when I was coming through. And yeah, like I've said in previous media, if I could do that with our young boys now, set them up real good in life. So yeah, if I could do that, then I've done my job.
It's unreal, bro. And World Cup later this year over in the UK as well. I can imagine that's pretty high on your priority list to get back on the field and back in that Tongan side as well.
Yeah, hopefully, if all things go well, I could definitely put my name up for being selected. But yeah, just at the moment, just want to get through my elbow rehab and try and string a few games later on in the year. If it's with the boys or with our feeder cup, I'll be raring to go.
And a few quick fire questions for you now, a bit more casual. Who's your favourite player to watch in the NRL at the moment?
Oh, I've got a few. They're all in our team. Bangers, big Tohu Harris.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Joshy Curran and Big Bunce. So yeah.
That's a good group for sure. And what's your favourite things to do outside of footy, bro, when you're not training?
I'm just chilling with my daughter. I've got two dogs as well. So yeah, take them for walks, and I've got a motorbike as well. So I go for just a bit of cruises, and yeah.
Man. And if you could play for any other professional sports team in any sport, who would it be, bro? Do you have a team you back in a particular sport?
Nah, man. No, I don't really watch sports out. Sometimes I don't really watch rugby league, only when we're playing. So
Yeah.
yeah, all good.
And do you have any pre-game superstitions or rituals, bro? Anything weird you have to do on game day?
Nah, I'm a bit nosy on game day. I know boys have rituals, but yeah, try and put them off their rituals and just walk around and talk to people. That's probably my superstition, just to really just talk to people and get rid of my nerves. But yeah, no, nothing too big.
And who's the hardest player you've had to tackle in the NRL?
I'm going back a few years now, but Tim Manor.
Yeah,
he was a little tough nugget back when he was playing, and I think now I reckon it's well, I haven't played against him, but like Adam at training, Matty Lodge at training, those, and Tommy Ali, who's with us at the moment too. They go 100% at training, and they're pretty hard to take down.
And a few listener questions, bro, to finish up. First one comes from Jake Rutherford, and he says, who's someone in the Super League you think that would kill it in the NRL? Do you still watch over there, or?
Yeah, try and watch now and then. I've got a few mates still playing, but yeah, Daryl Clark, he's a hooker at Warrington Wolves. He's been one of the top hookers over there for a while now, and I think he'll do good over here. And another guy, Danny Walker, those kind of guys I think will do good over here. So yeah.
Next one's from Shannon Bagnall and says, who in the Warriors side would you hate to run it straight at?
Oh, I don't know. I go pretty hard at training. uh,
No one, eh?
There's someone there, but they always tends to injure people at training. But probably Bunty or Jazz. Jazz is a grub at training, bro. Jazz, because he does stupid stuff in the tackles. So,
yeah, his name's come up a bit, bro, for sure.
Yeah.
And the next one's from Tui Belvy, and she says, what's it like having a wife in the NRLW? And I also noticed she played for the Kiwis the other week. So
yeah, it's I'll say this long days, because I go and do my training and then come home and she wants to work on her game, do a few wrestle moves. But in saying that, but she's followed me for the last 12 years, so it's something that makes me happy when she's playing out her dream. So yeah, I'll help her out wherever I can, whether it's running straight to her in the backyard or something like that. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool having her play out her dream. And yeah, like you said, when she played in the Kiwis a few weeks back, just watching her run out of the tunnel and lighting up for the anthems, and her haka had a few tears in my eyes, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's unreal, bro. What a duo. And then the last one, and it's just based around State of Origin. Do you have a team that you support, and what did you think of the game if you watched it?
Yeah, I go for the Blues.
Same.
But 100%. But I thought it was a pretty cool game. First 5 minutes of the game was awesome, though. Finally we got to see a few punches, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a great game, bro. Just credit to Queensland for sticking it out, even though they didn't have Munster. I thought there were no chance, but it was a pretty cool game.
Blues will get them next year, bro, for sure. Well, that's it from me, bro. Thanks for jumping on for a yarn about your journey and career so far. Looking forward to seeing you back on the field, and all the best for your rehab, bro. And cheers for jumping on.
No worries, can't wait. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.